Well, good morning, boys and girls. How are you guys? You doing good? Well, I have something on the screen here. I don't know if you can see it. If you guys look behind you on the screen, or up there, or over there, might be easier. But does September 22nd mean anything to you guys? Anything at all? Maybe if you look at the background, it might give you a hint. Everyone have an idea?
It's the beginning of fall.
The beginning of fall, that is correct. It's actually the first day of fall. And fall happens to be my favorite season. I like that it's colder. I like that the leaves are changing color and the air is so crisp and fresh in the morning. Does anyone else like fall? Yes? Okay. All right, what about if we go to the next slide? Let's give it just a second to go to the next slide. What about here? What does this look like? AJ?
Winter.
Winter. And what kind of things do you do in the winter? Do you guys have any ideas?
Like snowmans. Have snow fights.
Snowflakes. Do you have an idea?
What about skiing or snowboarding?
snowboarding? Okay. Do you guys... Okay.
Snowball fights.
Snowball fights?
Snowball fight.
Okay, lots of snowball fights, so a lot of snow. I like winter too. Winter is colder and you can go out in the snow and do lots of snow activities. What about the next slide? What about here? What kind of season is this?
Spring.
Spring, that's correct. Who likes spring? Anyone like spring? Why do you guys like spring? Does anyone want to share?
Because the flowers are blooming.
The flowers are blooming. Anyone else have anything to share? No? Okay, I think I have one more. Let's go to the next slide. Maybe you guys can guess what this is going to be. What about here? Summer. And this is the main season here in Southern California, yes? Do you guys like summer? Yes? So summer is the time the sun comes out. You can go to the beach and go swimming. And it's very hot outside. There's a lot of sun. Okay? And when I thought about these seasons, when September 22nd came along, I thought about how our lives have seasons as well, if you think about it. And what's the purpose of the seasons in our earth? Why can't we just have one season all year long? Why can't we just have winter all year long? What if we just had winter all year long? What would happen?
All plants will be dead and not grow. Any other ideas? It will be too cold outside. You probably might freeze.
Okay. What if we had just summer all year long? Would you guys like to have summer all year long? Or spring or fall all year long? Yes? Well, our seasons each have a unique purpose in our world. They each bring something really special, as we saw. So it's summer, we have the sun, and then we have winter, and everything has a purpose in our world. And just like the seasons have a purpose in our world, I think that we also have seasons in our lives. And this reminded me of a verse found in the Bible. It's found in Ecclesiastes 3, and it says, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, a time to dance, a time to be silent, and a time to speak. And God has made everything beautiful in its time." So I think that sometimes in our life we go through seasons as well. Sometimes we have happy times, sometimes we have sad times, sometimes we're in school, sometimes we're working, and I think that we need to remember that every single thing in our life and every season that happens in our life has a purpose for us. And we can either worry about that or know that God is in full control at all times. Do you guys believe that? That He's in full control of our lives? Good. I want you to remember that even though things are changing, and sometimes if you don't understand why you're going through something, everything has a purpose. And just like the verse said, God makes everything beautiful in its time, okay? And we're speaking a lot about change. We have seasons that change. We have a world that constantly changes. We have cars that change, new phones that change. The world is changing. People even change. But do you guys know someone or something that never, ever changes?
God.
God, yes, that's correct. And aren't we so blessed that God doesn't change? Imagine what it would be like if God did change. If one day he was nice and one day he was mean, or if one day he said he was going to come back to bring us back home to heaven, and the next day he decides not to do that. Or one day he says he'll forgive us, and the next day he doesn't. Wouldn't that be terrible? Yeah. So I am so, so grateful that God is someone that we can count on, and he never, ever changes. And so I want you guys, whenever you're looking out the window, and the seasons may be changing, maybe it's summer, maybe it's fall, maybe it's winter, I want you guys to remember two things. One, that sometimes our lives have seasons, and every season in our life has a purpose. And two, I want you to remember that God never, ever changes, okay? And I have a verse here that's found in Hebrews 13:8. It says, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. Can you guys say that with me? Let's say it together. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. Good. Thank you guys so much for listening. You can go back to your seats.